Hey Virgos, welcome back to Deku Tarot, to your March 2020 reading. All right, we're here in March already. It's kind of crazy. And this is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support, my lovely Virgos. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and we're going to get into this reading. It's going to be a little bit quicker than normal. We're using the Wildwood Tarot, and I will explain why it'll be quicker with some important announcements right now. So, I'm getting surgery in early March, so I will not be doing any private readings or any dailies or anything really until about halfway through March when I'm fully recovered. If you do want to get in touch with me during that time to book a reading for afterwards, please email me. I will have all the information on booking readings still below in my description boxes on my videos, and you can get in touch with me also through Instagram. And if you're feeling, some good karma, you want to pay it forward, you want to show some appreciation for the work that I put in, it's always welcome to donate to my PayPal. My PayPal, again, is right below. So thank you guys again for all of your support. Let's get right into your reading now. No more announcements. All right, King of Vessels. King of Vessels, which is the King of Cups here. And there is a kind of romantic, dreamy quality to this month. We've seen the romanticism of the Knight of Cups in many of the other readings that I've done so far. There is a sense of, that Piscean quality of romanticism, getting into that place of, wouldn't it be great for it to be this way? Wouldn't it be great to feel this way? Waiting for the knight in shining armor. And I do think a lot of you guys are on this. A lot of people this month are wanting to kind of take a step back and let somebody else take the reins. And I do want to say, let's try to fight that urge. And especially Virgo, you being a sign that needs to be constantly working, constantly in control of things, constantly going. I get that. I have a Virgo moon. When I'm not working and I'm not striving towards something, it's like never that I'm just sitting around playing on my phone. Whereas other signs can do that in their downtime and, not pay attention to things and not constantly make lists and beat themselves up about, what they haven't accomplished and what they need to accomplish. You guys are always kind of in that energy. However, I do feel the Knight of Vessels and the Three of Bows, which is fulfillment here, reversed. I do think that we're kind of focusing on, wouldn't it be great for somebody else to just come in and offer this to us, to offer our progression forward, take the action for us? Because Three of Bows is the Three of Wands. And when that's reversed, you're not seeing progression. You're also not really taking action towards fulfillment. Is that what this says? Oh, I'm reading it upside down now. I'm throwing it. Fulfillment. But she has these two wands here. And it kind of reminds me of almost like the Two of Wands. Because there's the two right there, but then she has the third one, or he has the third one there in his hand. And it's a bow. So where are you going to take your energy next? What action will you take? Where will you shoot your arrows? And I find it really wonderful and interesting that you get that Three of Bows reversed, because right after that you get the Archer. The Archer is kind of the Cancerian or, the Chariot type card here. And you can only really tell that because there's the two dogs. But it's about looking, thinking, and, before you shoot your arrow off, where are you going to shoot it towards and why? What decisions do you need to make, and why do you need to make these decisions? What do you need to consider before you start taking action in one direction or another? This is the time to set your arrow, to knock it back, and to wait for the perfect and the most opportune moment, to make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you start heading on forward. So, yeah, we're not really taking action, but again, with Pisces, your opposite sign, being retrograde, I don't really think that it's a good time to be taking action in the first place. And even though that could be frustrating to you, and you could be wondering, when are things going to progress? When am I going to get that go-ahead, the green light, the go here? Maybe somebody else is going to bring it in for me. I would have to say that this actually relies more on you needing to take stock of where you're at, of where you want to take your, make your next moves here. Where do you want to go? Whether it be career, love, whatever. You have some decisions to make about your progression moving forward, about your path moving forward, and how you're going to get there. And we need to kind of, again, step out of that more romanticism energies. We could be waiting again for this knight in shining armor to come by, but I feel like, much like the eel, it slips in and slips out, and whatever is coming in, whatever you've been waiting for, is more within your own consciousness in terms of a decision, offer, something like that. There's something within you that needs to come out first before you can be having all these just things pop into your life and be offered to you and happen at you for no reason. That's not how things work in life. And I think a lot of people come to look for readings on YouTube expecting people to say, it's going to be like this and it's going to be beautiful and wonderful. And you guys are falling in love and oh my God, the X and this stuff and that stuff. That's not true stuff. And what you have to remember is that tarot is the cycle of your life and your journey. And it's not meant to just be sitting around looking at how the other person is thinking and feeling about you. That's kind of misusing it. Not kind of, seriously misusing it. It's fun sometimes to do a love reading here and there, but if we focus solely on love and relationships through these things, focus on the romantic qualities and ignore what we need to be doing, where we need to be putting our focus, you know, rather than the romantic distractions. And I do think that in Pisces season, a lot of signs, especially you, because it is your house of relationships, are getting distracted by the emotional, the romantic, and I'm not seeing the progression I want to, and I don't really know what I want to do. Oh, there's a lot of confusion there. So let's dig at this one a little bit this month. Let's dig at this month here. Wow. I'll pull out a couple more here. Yeah, you guys need to refresh and renew yourselves in a really big way. You need to leave some things behind. So I think that's why the Archer is here. You need to make a decision about whether you're going to stay or leave within something pretty big. You have major chapters that want to come to a close and new ones that really do want to open, but you need to sit and ponder what this all is to you right now. Eight of Vessels Rebirth, and Queen of Vessels Salmon. You need to move on, but what you need to move on into is this more refreshing rebirth energy. The Eight of Cups has you leaving something that is no longer satisfying to you, especially emotionally, in order to move on to something that is more satisfying emotionally, something that is more fulfilling. Because, I mean, here in the center of that center of your energy, the center of your focus is how you're not fulfilled right now and how you're not really taking the actions to fulfill yourself. But you also, I think, don't really know what's going to fulfill you. And that might be where you're a little bit stuck. Well, what's going to fulfill me? I can't make a decision. I can't progress. I can't take action if I don't really know what's going to lead me where. And of course, Virgo, that's a very Virgoan thing to say and to feel and to do. You want to know which path is going to lead you where. You're not going to open up a door and be like, yeah, I'm going to walk down this, path for 10 miles and see where it leads me. And if it doesn't lead me there, then I guess I'll turn around, do the whole thing again and walk down a different path. That's not you. You research, you think, you take the time, you take stock, you make your list, your pros and your cons, and you see what's really best for me in this situation. There's a pull of opposites and a tension between that needs to be reconciled. And, we need to have these two dogs going in the same direction as your arrow. You need to be driving your potential, your energy, everything in one direction instead of, I want this and I'm doing this, but now I have this on the side and it's kind of messing me up and now I'm focusing on this person and that person. Well, if you want success in the relationship you're in, stop turning your head and trying to talk to other people. That's a little bit of a call out for somebody, I think. I don't know who, but anyways, Eight of Vessels and then the Queen of Vessels. It's time to move on. It's time to be reborn. It's time to become something more and to move on towards something that, again, speaks emotional truth to you, that feels different. You have to follow this path through your emotions, and you can't make the right decision unless you involve your true emotions about something. Okay, something has stopped progressing and it's time to make some moves. And no matter how romantically inclined or special or, used to somebody or something that we feel, it has worn out its welcome, and a chapter is definitely closing here. A chapter is definitely closing. And if it's with an air sign, Queen of Arrows reversed and the Ace of Bows reversed here, I do think that there's a lack of passion, a lack of communication, a lack of fire moving forward here. There's not much left. And the way that they're communicating, the way that they're acting makes you want to say bye-bye. You don't really seem to be interested anyways. However, something, you know, this could be that a relationship is falling apart and that there isn't the passion, there isn't the communication. And for you, and I mean, it might not even be all you. It could even be, I want to say it's a surprise, but I don't think it is, because I feel like there's been smoke with this fire. As you can see in this picture, I do feel like there's been smoke. You've been able to see the red flags for a while now. You know where somebody is not acting in your best interest, where maybe even you're not acting in your best interest, especially involved in relationships with 2 queens here, 1 upright, 1 reversed. There's a water sign maybe that you want to move on towards, and an air sign that you're no longer feeling attached to. It feels like smolder fire. And 9 of Swords, or sorry, 9 of Stones. Why did I say Swords? It begins with an S. 9 of Stones, tradition. We have the World Tree, which is the world. I probably should have mentioned that before I held it up for like 5 minutes there. But the World Tree is the world, so things come to a completion. The journey is right before us. You can see it. And all things kind of, you know, they're added to our roots. They're added to who we are, and we learn from this situation. It shows all the different, you know, cycle of life here. Winter, spring, summer, winter. Spring, summer, fall, winter. I know my seasons, I promise, guys. Mercury is still retrograde, unfortunately, so I'm sounding really intelligent. And the 9 of Stones, tradition. Are you holding on to something because of tradition? Are you holding on to something because it has become comfortable, because you feel secure with that? You really need to pay attention to what you're holding on to based on your own security. And if you need that in terms of your security, or if you are securing yourself. Are you holding on to a relationship because it makes you feel grounded, secure, and because you don't want to hurt that person, but you don't have passion? Something will come to a head there, because you can't be in a relationship without passion for too long. Somebody and something else will eventually turn your head and make you, and your decisions will become forced. The universe will eventually force your decisions if you get to that point. Knight of Arrows reversed, the Hawks, that's Knight of Swords reversed. That's some harsh energy, harsh communication, things exploding in bad ways. And I do think maybe if it is with that air sign, there are fights, there's communication or lack of communication that feels extremely harsh, extremely purposeful. Seeing something, hearing something, or yeah, it's like you guys haven't changed on something. Something has asked you to change, and you might want to run away from it. You have to change. I think that this retrograde is putting us in some really uncomfortable loops. And I know that retrograde ends the 10th, and then we move into Aries season, and there's all this good stuff. And Uranus is in Taurus, and I think, what is it, Jupiter? Is it Jupiter? I always want to call it Jupiter. Is it Saturn? Saturn. I don't know why I get those confused. They are not even remotely the same planet. Saturn enters Aquarius out of Capricorn. It will go back into Capricorn, but officially, I'm pretty sure we can say now that the age of Aquarius has begun. There's more expansive views. We are needing to get out of the more fantastical and have patience and universal respect for people. And that could be what's holding us up. Is that we're changing. The universe is changing, and we might not be as comfortable with it. The Great Bear is reversed there. When I get that, that is Judgment reversed. That's not heeding what the universe is asking you to do, asking you to change. You have fear of it. There's fear of of the unknown, a fear of change, a fear of what this brings in. But what you need to do this month, Virgo, what you really need to do is make a choice. There's a choice, and I think it has to do with love for you guys. So let's pull some romance angel cards. I feel that somebody pulls at us for our emotions. We have a choice to make here, and it has to do with love. It has to do with, is this worth it? The Shaman. Only you can decide what this is really worth to you, and if you put in all the effort that you can. You might have, sometimes when I get the Shaman and the World in one reading, I kind of get the sense, especially with the Lovers and everything else that's coming up, Judgment, you have to make some changes. It's all on you right now. And if you continue to sit where you're at, to not make the changes, to not leave a relationship that has grown extremely toxic, extremely unbalanced. And again, maybe it is with an air sign, because we have that Queen of Arrows reversed, and we also have this Justice card reversed. It could be a Libra. Could also be a Gemini. It doesn't matter. But regardless, this is somebody who you can't see eye to eye with anymore. Something that has become imbalanced. Maybe they're expecting too much and not giving enough in return, but whatever it is, it's worn out, it's welcome, and you have to do something about that. And the shaman says it's time for you to get in touch with that side of you that makes those changes. Get in touch with the magical side of you. You have learned what you've needed to learn to take the next steps. You have done what you've needed to do, and look at what's ready. Look what comes right out your last card, Six of Arrows. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward. Somebody and something has to be left in the past. I don't know what's going on with you and Libras lately. I think the past 6 months has been just shoving at you from underneath. That's like, leave a job, or leave a relationship, leave something that you know is toxic. And there's a lot of hesitation, fear, and an inability for you guys to change. So if you continue on this path, do expect the Tower to show up in your reading quite soon, because that's what's going to happen if you don't make the necessary changes at this time. You have been asked again and again to make some changes and to really look at the imbalance here, to close out a major chapter and to open yourself up to something much, much better. So stop trying to keep the balance and keep the peace with somebody, something, a situation, a job, whatever it might be, a relationship that is just, it's not worth it anymore. It's not giving you anything. You've taken everything that you can from it, and there's nothing left now. There's nothing left in this. So it's time to make a choice to move on and to take what you have learned, bid it adieu. Don't, it doesn't have to be negative, doesn't have to be regretful, but sometimes things reach their pinnacle and you've learned everything that you can with one person and it's over. Or one job, whatever it might be. There comes to a point where you're like, this is it, it's time. And you know what, Virgo? It's time. It's time. I really feel like it is, especially if you're seeing birds, hawks around a lot. Pay attention. Even fish. I'm feeling more like birds, hawks, and swans. Yeah, unrecruited love. There's a situation here. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, and you guys know exactly where that's hitting. If you want your relationship to ascend to a higher level, if you want that better relationship, you're going to have to release somebody. And that doesn't always mean your ex. Release your ex, somebody that you might need to break up with, somebody that you do need to let go of for some of you. The time has come to clear your energy. What's really good for you? It's time to focus on you and your path forward and how you really want to see your life, how you really feel. Let's be truthful instead of lying to ourselves. Because also 14, or balance reverse there with the Great Bear reverse. That's lying to yourself, not communicating how you really feel, and not changing to make yourself happier. As you can hear, as I just said that, it started downpouring. Your card here, Time. I really like this card. This is from the Power deck by Lynn V. Andrews. What is time that it has such power to change all that exists back into dust? What is the unseen force like the wind that can shape the land in our lives? Learn to play with time. Time is surreal, like fish swimming in tree troughs. A person of power knows how to arrange time. Put on your watch and be aware of the time at which you do everything. Watch the sun, the moon, and transit the stars. Find out the time that Venus is lowest in the sky before dawn. Be aware of your cycles, when you get hungry, when you sleep. Our society is obsessed with time, so now become time. If you're obsessed with something, it is better to explore it than to deny it. Then it is possible to give up your obsession and let a concept like time take its proper place in your life. Your power depends on your use of time. Perfect message for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to leave me a comment, especially where you're from. I always like seeing that from you guys. Hit me up over on Instagram. It'll be a lot easier to connect with me as I recover over there. I'm going to be posting some updates and maybe even some getting into more vlog stuff for the channel even in the near future after I get better. So hit me up with any DMs of anything you might want videos on, any questions that you've had about metaphysical, witchery, tarot, anything, astrology, and hopefully we can start structuring some fun videos. And yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed March. And thank you guys so much for all of your support, Virgos. Love you so much. Namaste.